short stuff, yeah. I'll call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the Cass County Library Board of Trustees for November 19th. Lori, would you take a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Becky Klein?
Yes?
Sherry Peters?
Present.
Dennis Minnick?
Here.
Diana Larson?
Here.
Diane Hahn?
Here.
All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have your agenda, and there have been no changes to it, so I would like a motion to approve the agenda. Thank you, Diana. No, Diana. I'll second. Thank you, Diana. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. This is the minutes and the financials, and you have your updated financials in your hands, but we had received them online also.
Did you have the vote to approve?
I'm sorry?
Did you have the vote to approve?
Oh, we got a vote
on
to
the
approve
motions?
the agenda. I'm sorry. All right, Lori, would you take a roll call?
Becky Klein?
Yes.
Sherry Peters?
Yes.
Dennis Minnick?
Yes.
Diana Larson?
Yes.
Diane Hahn?
Yes.
All right. Consent agenda. Any questions for our staff? Any explanations from the staff that maybe we need? Anything? Okay. Then is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Or, yes, consent agenda.
So moved.
I'll second. Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No public comments, I believe? All right, welcome the three public that we have here today. All right, we'll start off with Joe from Navigate Building Solutions with the building project update.
Appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone. I was going to give you the next update of what we're going to do for the library itself. We'll kind of do just a quick recap of some of the items that were in progress. According to last month when we did the October update, we're going to go over the bid documents and bidding, library board engagement opportunities. We have some tree clearing to kind of go over, discuss, and clarify. And then we'll have a closing summary and answer some questions if we have any. The recap from last month's meeting, things we had in process, we had the final development plans in at the city. We just received approval for that yesterday, so that did come through as approved. So that step is one of the steps you have to have before permitting. Next thing we're working on is construction documents by Clark and Anderson. So that's going to be the complete construction set of documents that we will turn in for permitting at the end of December. Tree removal, planning prior to construction. Right now we're in that receiving bids. We have 3 to 4 bids right now. So qualifying to make sure what's in those bids at this point. And then bid document prep. So this is anything from contracts to just all the front end paperwork that goes with the contract, scopes of work, talks about all that. So all that's in process to get ready for bidding this out and doing a contract in February of next year. So basically the bidding process and permitting, these are some of the events, the things that we have coming up. So we're gonna do a contractor community event. That's gonna be on December 10th. That's gonna be at the Harrisonville location. This is basically to get the word out to all contractors, to let them know that this project's coming and will be bid out in January. So this is basically just to get them informed on the project, get people excited about it, get local contractors, any contractors in the area. Once again, construction documents, bid documents will be completed at the December 19th, so we will be submitting those that day to the city for permitting. So that'll start that process of getting a permit for the job site. Public bid, the public bid we'll send this out on January 9th. So this will be a public bid that's sent out to anyone that's interested in this project to bid on it. We'll have a pre-bid walk, which will be, so we'll send it out on the 9th. 1 week later, we'll do a pre-bid walk, and we'll have another meeting kind of explaining some of the processes of what they need to follow on doing the bid. And then we'll also walk out on site if they need to go out on site to see anything. So like an excavator would want to go out there and see what the condition of the lot is, if we cut trees down or anything of that nature. Bid review, so when we receive the bids are all gonna be due on February 3rd. So we'll review those bids, so it'll be the group of us will be Navigate, Clark and Anderson, the architects, and Robin and Lee. We'll go through all those bids. It'll be a public opening of the bids, so we'll read them out loud, so all the contractors will know what the pricing is with alternates and things of that nature. So all that will be public knowledge to everybody. And then, once we have the bids, 2 days later on the 5th, we'll do bid interviews. So we'll take the 2 to 3 basically lowest contractors on that, and we'll do interviews with them. That'll be once again with the same group of Navigate, Clark and Anderson, and Robin and Lee. So we go through a series of questions asking them to make sure they're qualified to do the project. And we also make sure they have all the scope in their contracts or in their bids to do the work. So that's going through all that for at least the lowest 2 to 3. It depends on the numbers that come back at that point. Then at that point, we will recommend, as a group, we'll recommend a contractor for approval on the February 19th library board meeting. Some of the areas, we talked about kind of a little bit of engagement last time as far as the board. We'll have today, we want to kind of talk through the tree clearing ahead of time prior to construction on the GCs. So we'll talk about that. We'd want that kind of the direction today as approval today of direction we want to go in. And I'll kind of have another slide that'll explain all the trees. Local contractor engagement event, once again, that's December 10th. That's where, if you wanted to come see that, be a part of that, if you wanted to do a statement that says, you know, the importance of the library in this area, that's something that could be an opportunity there if you want to see that process or be a part of that process. Bid day, once again, that is a public opening of the bids, so we'll have that same thing. You can come in and view that and be in here part of the bid. That one's probably, depending on how many bids you get, it could be probably a half-hour type meeting. It's basically you're reading the bids and then that meeting's over at that point. Then that's when we get into the interview process, determining who we want to interview. Once again, library board meeting, that's where we're going to bring basically the recommended general contractor to that board meeting where we were to seek approval of the GC's contract. The next 2 big events, once we get past that part, will be a groundbreaking event. We can go out and do a groundbreaking ceremony. I think these pictures are from Pleasant Hill at that point. And then also at the very end, when the building's completely done, we'll do a ribbon cutting also. And then those will be kind of predetermined what we'll do as far as the ceremony. Some of those, as we get further along, we'll have kind of an agenda for those. So tree clearing prior to construction. Basically, the reason we need this is in Missouri, so Missouri Conservation, tree clearing is allowed during November 1st through March 31st. This is due to a lot of the bat migration, bird migration, things of that. These are areas you don't have to have the approval at that point. These are the approved times that you can cut these trees down. Outside of that, you would have to go through a long process to get approval to be able to do that. So we want to complete this scope in this time frame so the lot is ready to go when the GC is approved. So there's 2 options of what we're looking at clearing the trees. Like I said, we could just cut the trees down and lay them there, and we discussed how you probably get mostly feedback and saying, why aren't you doing anything else with it? So we didn't even kind of. The first option is basically taking a tree, cutting it 6 foot from the ground and just leaving the trunk and the stump in place and just clearing it basically 6 foot up, haul that off, general contractor take out the rest. The second option is to have a tree company come in and just clear it all out as far as stump, the whole complete tree out of the ground and everything, and clear it out. This is our recommendation, is to have that done, just because we're running into the winter time. So if you have that completely done, then the general contractor can come in, hit the ground running. He doesn't have to deal with the trees at that point. Since it is a tight time frame of when we'll award the contract to the contractor, and then they would only have a couple weeks to try to do that themselves, if the trees were still standing, so. Right now, we're getting, like I said, I have 3 to 4 bids right now, ranges from pricing on how they wanna do it. Some wanna just have the whole tree, push the whole tree over, it's easier for them to do it that way, so they only bid one option, so they bid option 2. Some of them bid option 1 and 2. Prices range from anywhere to $15,000 to $34,000. Right now, we're looking at one, basically make sure they have all theirs, or it's around the $25,000 range. We're looking at one that would meet all the criteria to completely clear the trees out.
How many trees are we knocking down?
It's about a half acre of trees, so it's half the current lot. The current lot is 2 acres right now. And with the current design and the final development that's approved, you're tearing basically all the trees out of there at this point.
I've driven past it a million times, haven't paid enough attention to know if we're talking about 10 trees or 25 or 40 or, you know.
Trust me, there's somebody in
talking about that
Harrisonville that can tell you exactly how many.
It's like the back half, not back half, back,
We talk about that northern
yeah.
So
range.
if you're looking directly on the lot, it's basically the front, it's all grass, the first half acre.
Right.
The first acre is all grass. It's really clearing all the trees you see all the way back to the property line. So it's probably more than 50, different sizes. So
And
you
we
have
need
some
to
that
get
are
rid of
large.
all of them.
Yes, it was due to the fact that we were saving money by doing above ground detention instead of below ground detention.
Okay,
So if you do below ground detention, it's gonna cost $200,000 to $300,000 more to do that system. So we have it designed so it's above ground. You're gonna have less problems. You won't have anything that'll fail that's underground. So that was the driving force of that. It saved you quite a bit of money up front on the library itself.
Wasn't it also kind of for safety? Did we talk about that?
For the trees,
No, just for the children. Had we mentioned that?
as far as keeping trees versus not having them, is that
No,
the retention.
for the retention? Or
no, I'm
detention?
talking, we're cutting out all the trees to the back so that there's not all these, you guys don't, okay, I don't know. Okay, so that the children are safe from outsiders.
I think I know where
Remember?
you're talking about
Yeah.
that. That's where we were saying
Yeah.
people might be back in the trees and things like that. That's
So
part
parents
of
would just
safety
feel
issue.
safer. Do you remember that?
I think we do have
Okay.
I remember hearing some conversation on that. But our driving force is mainly to save the money, as far as how that was designed in the beginning, because it is a quite costly anytime you do any kind of water detention underground. This is an expensive system.
This comes from someone that used to burn firewood in the house. Is there any opportunity for people to salvage any of that for firewood, or is it not firewood quality trees or?
You'd have to go to what particular species, what you want to use. I'm not sure what all the different species that are out there.
I mean, I'm just thinking about
Right.
creating some firewood for somebody, but I know that might slow it down too.
And I'm not sure, the tree companies will haul it off and all that, as far as they'll get rid of all the stumps and everything else. So that will be in the plan to have it completely cleared out, have a nice lot ready to build on.
Okay.
For the contractor to come in and do excavation, so. Just a closing summary, once again, like I said, the group that's really doing all these processes, and we've done these processes throughout everything we've done so far. Navigate, Clark Anderson, the library. We'll complete all the due diligence, interviews, and then bring the final contractor as a recommendation to you on the February 18th board meeting. These are the same processes that we've gone through for anything that we've done, from traffic studies to geotech to just any process that we've paid so far. We've always gotten 3 bids minimum, and we go through and qualify those people to make sure they're doing what we need them to do for the project. So this is the same process we're doing throughout from start to finish.
Are these guys that are giving us some bids for the tree removal local?
I made it a point to try to get anybody that's local. I had 2 Harrisonville, 1, I think Pleasant Hill, and 1 in Spring Hill.
Okay,
So I
Just
reached
curious.
out to quite a few in this
Good.
area specifically to have somebody local.
right.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
I didn't look at anybody from Kansas City or Overland Park or anybody outside. I
Okay.
just kind of stayed in probably a 30-mile radius right around of the tree companies I called. And there's a lot of them I didn't even hear back from at that point, but I called quite a few of them.
Any questions, more questions for Joe? Then we move down to tree removal estimate approval today. Are you ready for that?
I have the pricing, it's really the direction, do you approve to basically cut them all down completely out? Remove tree, stump, everything, that's the recommendation that we're presenting today. As far as the contractor that would have to go through to do that yet, that'll have to go through a service contract. I spoke with the lawyer, we have a service contract that they'll have to sign, so I'll have to still qualify them to do the work. As far as, it's more the direction of, do you wanna see, 6 foot of a stump sitting there for 3 or 4 months, or just a nice clean lot?
And which way is least expensive is, again, my thoughts. If you have a tree guy come in, is he less expensive to just wipe it all out and get it ready? Or is it cheaper to have him just cut it down and let our general contractor, when he surveys the lot and moves all the dirt and does all that, to remove them then? Is that less expensive? Because we're gonna be paying for somebody to come in with heavy equipment to fix that lot. Anyway.
You'll be paying a portion of each way. Say you left the 6 foot up and tore the trees out and hauled that off, just so you don't have any complaints of why is there piles of trees there. You'd still wanna clear that off, and then that would be, roughly say a $15,000 to $20,000 cost today, just to do that. Or clean the complete lot. Once again, some contractors, like the one excavator I talked to, he preferred not to cut off at 6 foot or try to push that over later on, due to the fact it was easier to come in with heavy equipment and just push the whole tree over. And he said for his only, it was a lot easier to do it that way than trying to push a stump that's only 6 foot high. So he preferred to only bid it one way. So there's different forms from everybody that we had bids from, how they would do it. So some would cut it off and then use a bulldozer also. So either way, you will be paying front and back, because even the GC would have to come in, and so if he views a tree stump 6 foot high and it's gonna be more work, he might be charging us more money then. So you're never gonna know the exact amount on doing half here and half here
Okay,
in that aspect.
It just might be better to have it touched once than twice.
Do we need to, would it be better to get it all done in November before the ground is frozen? Because we're not gonna do bids until February 18th, and then the heavy equipment people would be coming in. The ground could still be a little bit frozen
And
in
that's why
March.
we wanna do it during this time frame now.
That's-
Basically, that gives us the best opportunity to hit the ground running once a contractor is awarded. So right now, we do have to do it between November 1st and March 31st.
Right.
So if we didn't approve a GC till February 18th, that gives them such a small window to mobilize. And if it's raining CZ, rain a lot at that point, and we can't get in there, then we have other issues. So that was the main reason to stay in this time frame and get it cleared out now while we have decent weather, or we have a bigger time frame to clear it out.
So do we just need to make a motion on which way we wanna go with it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's take them out.
That's what
I
I'd
move
like
we
to
take
do.
'em out.
knock them down and
Yeah.
get rid of the whole kit and caboodle
We force it
now.
to touch them once.
You
and
wanna
touch them
phrase
twice.
your motion, please, Dennis?
Yes.
And,
Cut them out. I move you take the bids or accept one of the bids to totally remove the trees.
I second that.
All right. Any further questions of Joe? Lori, would you do a roll call, please?
Becky Klein,
Yes.
Sherry Peters.
Yes.
Dennis Minnick,
Yes.
Diana Larson.
Yes.
Diane Hahn.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you letting me
And-
present today.
Do we have any utilities that we have to worry about that deep in the lot?
No, not right now,
Okay.
not farther back. All the utilities are up front along the street.
Okay, just,
Okay. We'll figure out which ones of us will be there on December 10th. Couple of us will at least. I guess if we have three, do we have a meeting?
Yeah, then that's why we were saying recommending one or two for
Yeah.
these, so we would
Okay.
post it, but.
it won't be me, I'm working cattle that day.
You're working, okay.
I checked my
All right.
calendar already, that's
We'll get you on a public bid meeting or
not an
something.
option for me.
All right. All right, let's move on to the 2026 budget approval. We met Monday and spent an hour and a half going line by line through the budget. Any further questions for Robin and Lee and Lori and Zach? And Pat over there.
Oh, they won't let me sit with them.
Any further questions? Any last minute changes from you four? Okay, 5.
Did we make the adjustment on the, adding some more to the, activities? I know we discussed that.
No, I thought we left it at if we were going to do a budget amendment on the professional services line maybe after the first of the year, then we could maybe swing it over.
Okay.
When we have a better feel for how much it's gonna be, okay. All right. Anybody wanna make a motion for us?
I move we approve the budget.
I will second it. Lori, would you do a roll call, please?
Becky Klein,
Yes?
Sherry Peters.
Yes.
Dennis Minnick,
Yes.
Diana Larson.
Yes.
Diane Hahn.
Yes.
Thank you very much, board, for meeting on Monday, and to the staff for working through all the details. All right, moving on to new business, and this is the paid time off. Is this draft the same one that we
It
received?
is, but that has the notes off to the side. I
Okay.
just realized that the one in your packet didn't have that, so I just
Okay.
wanted to get it to you. I think you were used to getting those with the additional information, so.
Okay,
I had a question for you. How long is the pay period?
2 weeks.
Okay, so this, let me just clarify. So it says, let's just go to the first one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it would be for all of them. 0 to 5 years, PTO hours per pay period. So they would get 8 hours a day is a day.
Correct. They would get 8 hours accrued that pay period.
Okay, and so does that mean every month every year, they could earn up to 24 days? Because if it's 1 day for 2 weeks, it's 2 days per month.
Right.
So,
It can be. I mean, yes, because that accrues per pay period.
okay,
This is no different than what we are
That's what-
today.
yeah, right.
It's just combining the two.
right,
That's all it's doing. It's combining sick and vacation together.
okay.
It's no
Sick,
different than
vacation,
what we're doing
personal,
today.
everything.
Correct.
that's our full-time employees, and we don't have as many full-time employees. The other hours are broken down there.
Yeah. and
Right.
they're back
It's all
over
broken
here.
down.
Yeah.
This is 40 hours a week. You
Yes,
get 8 hours,
right.
because they work 8 hours a
But
day.
then we've got this,
Yes,
yeah,
Okay,
because it's all based upon hours they work. It's the way it is today. It's based upon hours they work and how many years of service.
did you present this to the staff? Do they know that this is a possibility?
I told them it's a possibility, told them it's a proposed that has to be approved. Tremendous reaction to it. I had just presented it yesterday in a branch and they were elated.
I think more and more businesses are going to PTO rather
They
than
are.
sick leave, personal leave.
Well, what's happened in the past is that you might have or a person who has used most of their vacation time, but yet they have 200 hours of sick time over here. And they can't use their sick time for vacation time. It's strictly sick. That's the way it is today. So if we combine the two, it makes no difference how they use it. They can use it for sick, they can use it for vacation.
So what will happen with people that have time accrued? Will it go into the PTO fund or?
No, what I've done, I looked at it several different ways. The best way is to freeze their balances as of December 31st. So if I have, I'll just pick a number. If I have 100 hours of vacation and I have 100 hours of sick, those 200 will go into a different bank. It'll be frozen. They have to use those hours first, and they can use those hours as just straight PTO time. At the same time, they'll still be accruing down here the PTO hours. If we made it go away, or if we paid them out, everybody would be at a zero balance. That meant next year they would have very little vacation time, or if they had sick time, or if they had something planned, they wouldn't have any hours. So they've already earned this, so we're freezing those numbers. What I want to do is freeze those numbers. They use those numbers first, so that that balance goes down, and then they can go into their PTO time.
Do we have a limit on how much they can accrue?
Yes,
Is that the 180?
480.
Oh, 480.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't say 180, does it?
Next one, it says mine,
For flex,
Oh, the
employees
flex,
it
the
is.
flex people is
Okay.
180.
okay,
Yeah, that's, if you remember, that's a policy that we
Yes.
did before.
yes,
And we said we were coming back with this one so that we can include everyone. The flex is 180 hours. The, everyone else would be 480 hours.
so if somebody is here for 20 years and saves up 1,000, then they would get the 480.
The 480, right. It stops accruing.
Yeah.
Once it hits 480, it quits accruing.
Okay.
But 480, if you look, and I'll take Lori, if I may, as an example. With Lori, it'll take her at 480, it'll take her a year and 8 months to accrue to 480 hours if she never uses a day. So that, they'll keep that balance down. They're, very rarely are they gonna meet that balance, and that balance is what we pay out if it gets up to that. So,
When they leave
when they leave.
or retire, yeah.
When they retire or leave, that's what gets paid out. But if a person never used it, and again, take Lori for example, it's a year and 8 months before she would hit that 480 hours. So that was kind of, a question that a couple of them had, well, when am I gonna reach
60
that
days.
480 hours? So I gave them
480.
examples, and some people, one person
8
was like
hours.
over 2 years.
60 days.
So
That's a lot.
we've never had a person reach the max as far as sick goes. Vacation they have, but not sick.
So if they had to have major surgery, they now have a better possibility of having sufficient time off.
Yes, they will.
And this would be different from FMLA or anything.
Yeah, well, correct. Well, FMLA is totally
Something
separate.
else, yeah.
FMLA is, they don't require, the government does not require you to pay.
Right,
But
okay.
We
that's right.
require, if you have time, to use your time.
Okay,
That's part of what we tell them, if anybody goes to FMLA, that they need to use their benefit replacement time.
okay,
And the 480 hours at an 80-hour a week would be 12 weeks of pay.
right. Okay,
But it's been very well received, to answer your question. It's been very well received in the branches. I presented it at our staff development day, and they really like it.
I wondered, how did we arrive at the 75%? Because we were at 120 and we had to merge that.
Right. Because I wanted to get it to as close to the payout as it is today. And so 75 brought us almost equal to where we are today.
Because people had more vacation pay, that they had sick days, and so that balanced into
It
sick.
balanced it out, yes. I didn't want to go to some odd percent like 71.5% or something like that. So I made it, when I looked at it, I made it as close to where we are today if it was paid out.
okay. I wish they had that when I was working.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It helps us with any HIPAA issues because we don't ask why they're sick or anything like that, but they volunteer it, which is okay if they tell us. But it's just better to stay away from all that. This way, it's just PTO time. We're good to go.
And it's, if you're really healthy, that's, you know,
Yes, I had that brought up yesterday. Because one of the people said, you know, I'm healthy, I never use my sick time, but I'm almost out of vacation time. So this kind of makes it good now for everybody, makes it equal for everybody.
Okay.
And the total days are equivalent to what they had before.
Yes, exactly what they had before.
So if you add vacation with sick, it equals.
Yes,
Okay.
wanted to make sure of that. I didn't want to short anything.
Okay. All right. I make a motion that we approve paid time off, policy 322 as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Lori?
Becky Klein,
Yes?
Sherry Peters,
Yes.
Dennis Minnick,
Yes.
Diana Larson.
yes.
Diane Hahn.
Yes.
All right. No, you don't have to sit through this.
Morning.
Okay.
Something new.
It's not much longer though, okay? All right, changes in staff, directors' reports. Start off with changes in staff.
All right. We hired 4 people last month. We hired a youth services specialist at Garden City, 2 new part-time folks here at NRC, and a part-time person in collection management. We've got some current openings still. This has actually changed a little bit, but we're doing interviews for our marketing and design specialist tomorrow. We did interviews yesterday for a part-time person in outreach, and we did interviews for a custodian, a 3-hour-a-week custodian at Garden City. And so those hopefully will all come together soon. We've posted, as some of you may have heard, Karen Allen, the Harrisonville branch manager, is retiring on December 2nd. So that manager position has been posted on the website and will be there for a couple weeks. Yeah, until we get a hopefully sizable pool of candidates. But if you want to come, we'll have a retirement party for Karen on the 2nd. I'll send out more specifics when we've got it all nailed down, time frame. We had for our winter reading challenge, which is coming up next month, we did an art contest at Archie and had patrons vote on the people that submitted art. So I think the winning art was in last month's report, but anyway, I can show it to you if you want. But our winner's art will be on the mug, which will be the prize for the winter reading challenge this year, and they've been ordered and they look pretty good. Ben Palmer was the winning artist. We had our staff development day on October 13th in Garden City. We had about 70 people, so more than last year. Were able to come to that, and we had some pretty good trainings that were done by staff trained each other on 8 different sessions that people got to choose, what they wanted to learn about. And we had a fire safety training that the Garden City Fire Department came and did for us. And on October 23rd, we had an official grand reopening sort of open house at Drexel so that people could come. Community members could come and see it and also get cake. So, but we had Patty Dreyer came and Police Chief Downey came and several other patrons that just wanted to see the building. So that was very nice.
I missed you guys. I got there at 4 because I had something going on, but they were having a bunch of kids after school stuff.
They we packed up before their program
Yeah,
started.
sorry, but it looks great.
Sherry and I had gone
Yeah.
the week before or something like
Yeah.
that, 2 weeks before. Yeah.
It looks great.
Okay. All right, Director?
I emailed you guys this afternoon. I realize you probably haven't had a chance to see it, but there was an incident at Archie earlier today. Someone ran into the side of the building, and it actually kind of came in a little bit. There's not a hole in the wall, but it pushed in where the public computers are on the south wall. And
It's raised, isn't it, kind of?
There's parking on that side.
Oh,
There's
okay.
pictures in your email, so if
Okay.
you wanna see what it looked like. But, Ian and Lee went down there, Zach went down there, the police came out or came across the street, and, so we closed briefly to get things kind of
I
picked
saw
back
it.
up. Landlord was notified, he came out, he's gonna get it reinforced and then plan for the repairs. But we should be, it's been inspected, the city inspector came and it's fine, it's structurally sound, like we can be in there and it's fine, but all of that happened, started like 1 o'clock or
hours
something,
ago.
yeah.
Goodness.
Yes, so we've had a busy afternoon before this meeting, but just an update on that, and then the roof here, you may have seen when you came in, we haven't heard of any plans to, get that taken care of, and I know the code violation indicated that it needed to be done by December 15th, I think is when the city plans to re-inspect, but, we just know, been made aware of it, but there's no updates on that. The tree in front of Drexel, in your packet, I let you know that, it was in decline and needed to be cut down, and we notified the landlord, and that's been taken care of, so. And then I wanted just to talk a little bit, I think I may have mentioned it in passing in the past, but we've been using, the surplus site called Gov Deals to get rid of things that we're not using anymore that we don't need, to try to kind of recoup, what we might be able to, and things that people are willing to pay for. And we've actually just recently generated about $737 from that. We had scrap metal from when we did the annex, garage door renovation, and the actual like old door mechanics and things. We sold that on there. We sold, the staff computers that we got replaced last year. Zach re-imaged all of those, and so he's been selling those in blocks, on there. Those have gone, and then we've got a bunch of old office chairs when we replaced all of our chairs last year. We've done that, so it looks like it's pretty nifty, and basically like the website handles all of the bidding and stuff, and they verify that it's valid, and they, send us the payment. Whoever's buying it comes and picks it up. That's part of the deal, so we don't have to ship or deliver anything. And then when we get the payment, we send it to the business office. They take care of it.
And where are we putting that payment? Just in a general income, or
It's just going back in the
applying
general
it back to
operating.
the equipment line or things like that? Okay.
Yeah, kind of whatever we sold. I don't think we've had any yet.
It's coming.
I come in, but I mean in the past,
Oh,
what I would
right.
have coded it, maybe supplies, maybe go back under there, or equipment,
Okay.
facilities, supplies, probably. On this case, maybe facility supplies, so.
Okay, thank you. Under trustees report, the foundation report is listed there first. We made over $3,000 on the book sale. We had some expenses, and those are still sorting themselves out, but we should clear probably, I hope, around 2,600, which will do pretty good on summer reading books for next summer and other things for the libraries. And we have our reorganization meeting. We are required to meet on a certain Monday in January. The foundation bylaws require that, and so we have that coming up in January. I think it's like the second one. It was always hitting Martin Luther King Day, so we had to redo all that. So anyway, any other trustee comments?
Well, I'll give you a little bit. The CCIC met on October 23rd, and a lot of this is kind of routine, but one of the issues that they were talking about is how bad the parking lot is. And so they're looking at, I think, just trying to get the main part out, I guess, to the first sidewalk or whatever. Oh, the other side of that then becomes city property or something. But anyway, they're addressing that. And then the main thing, and I don't know if they've even done anything, they may have already done this, I don't know, but they're concerned about getting some painting done where the water leaked in, and they were saying it might have an impact on the library temporarily, when might have to close an area off so they can get some paint in there.
Like the skylight area.
Yeah, wherever some water got in and I guess streaked the walls or something, I wasn't real clear on it. And they're also looking at getting a facelift for the restrooms. They're all functional but dated, so. And I think, and then this is where I'm not really clear, but there's 2 members of the CCSE board that technically our appointment expires, it says like it says through 2025, but there seems to be a question whether it ends on December 31st or if it actually goes till March. But I think from just a brief conversation I had on the bylaws, we may have, if somebody else wants it, you can have it, but at the next meeting, we probably need to make the official appointment. But then whether it starts in January or starts in March, I'm not sure. The 2 that are up at the end of this year is our seat and Lynn Dudley's. So.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments?
Oh, I noticed the annex was painted.
Looks very nice.
Yes, Ian and Scott Block got that done here a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Signed, and the awning should be soon, the awning replacement.
Okay.
Yes, it's very noticeably better.
Yes.
We didn't like the yellow.
All right, if there's no other business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye. Thank you very much. 40 minutes.
Yeah, we